Tomorrow, on July 13th, something magical is happening. Because you have spent this entire year working for free. Every single euro you made so far went straight into the government's pockets. Which means tomorrow is officially Tax Freedom Day here in Germany, because from this exact day on, everything you earn belongs 100% to you. I wonder, is it really true that you work half a year for the government? And are you forced to sit back and watch your hard-earned money disappear? Or is there something that you can do about it? Let's look at this Steuerzahlergedenktag in detail and give you concrete steps what you can do to push your personal tax freedom day way earlier. The German Federation of Taxpayers, Bund der Steuerzahler, celebrates a symbolic day every year, the day the average taxpayer stops working for the government and starts working for himself. And if you track the history of this day, you see that the government is taking more almost every single year. Back in 1960, Tax Freedom Day was on May 27th, and in 2018 it was even later than this year. In 2026, the Federation of Taxpayers expects a burden of 52.9% for the average employee, split into the following categories. 32% go into Social Security, your health insurance, public pension, unemployment and care insurance. Insurance. So is this really a tax? We'll come to that in a moment, but first, let's finish our calculation. 12 cents go away for income tax. Yes. The average employee pays 12% taxes here in Germany. 4.5 cents are value-added taxes if you buy something. 3 cents are all kinds of other taxes, like property taxes for example. 1 cent for energy tax and 0.4 cent to all other taxes, like the mandatory GEZ Rundfunkbeitrag. Leaving the average with 47.1 cents for himself out of every euro that he earns. But you're not average. So let's look at 3 different expat scenarios to calculate your personal tax freedom day. The average is just a mathematical example earning 57k, but depending on your exact income and family status, your personal tax freedom day shifts dramatically. So here are 3 typical expat scenarios for you. Number 1 is the high-earning single in tax class 1 making 80,000 euros a year. Bad news, your personal tax freedom day is 9 days later than the average on July 22nd. Why so late? Because with 80k you are hit heavily by the progressive income tax curve and you are paying Social Security on almost every single euro that you earn. Scenario number 2 has it way better. The married couple earning 100,000 euros. They earn 20k more than scenario 1, but their tax freedom day happens over 3 weeks earlier on June 30th. Why? The magic of Ehegattensplitting. Finanzamt splits your 100k into 2 50k parts for tax purposes, pulling your income out of the 42% tax range way down the progressive tax zone. And of course, your tax-free allowance doubles to nearly 25,000 euros. Now in scenario 3, it gets really interesting with the Dink couple. Double income, no kids, earning 200,000 euros. You might think they work the longest for the government because they earn the most, right? Wrong. Their tax freedom day is June 18th, earlier than anyone else. Why? Because of the cap on Social Security contributions, Beitragsbemessungsgrenze in German. This year, public health insurance caps at 69,750 euro and pension at 101 and 400 euros. Everything after that is free of Social Security, and that's why their overall burden drops significantly. And they could drop their burden even more, and so could the other 2 scenarios, if they have the right tax strategy. You can book a free meeting with us right here, and then we can look at your situation to see how much earlier we can pull your personal tax freedom day. These 3 scenarios lead us straight into the biggest problems with this entire calculation, that the Federation of Taxpayers throws everything into one pot. People with low income who pay almost 0 tax, and people with a 42% marginal income tax rate. One could argue that they just take the average. Okay, but here's the real problem. They commit what experts call label fraud because they treat your Social Security contributions as if they were a tax, which is what some of you guys do in the comments too. So Listen to this. Taxes go into the general budget of the government. They must not be designated for a specific purpose by German law. Every euro collected, no matter which one of these 40 it is, goes into the general budget. And just because you pay taxes, you do not get anything in return. That's not my wording, that's paragraph 3 of the German tax code. Social security insurances are not taxes. They are contributions because you actually get something back for your money. Health insurance pays when you're sick, and unemployment insurance pays when you lose your job. If we would remove all these insurances from the equation, the average German tax freedom day would be March 21st, not July 13. Looks like Germany is just a black hole for your money, huh? Well, it's not, because Germany consistently ranks second when it comes to gross disposable income. In low-tax countries like the US or Switzerland, your paper net might look amazing, but you have to pay for a lot of stuff out of your own pocket. Economists measure this with social transfers in kind, which means state services given to you for free or heavily subsidized. We are talking about subsidized public transport, tuition-free universities, subsidized childcare, and toll-free highways. The money for these public services never shows up on your bank account, but studies show that they add an incredible $8,800 to your net every single year. And when you factor in real purchasing power to adjust for local price differences, Germany ranks in 3rd place across all OECD states, right behind the US and Luxembourg. Your German payslip might look like a crime scene, but when you compare what you get for the deductions, Germany is world class. And you can maximize your real disposable income even more by optimizing the 2 biggest deductions on your payslip, taxes and social security. Taxes are the biggest leverage to pull your tax freedom day earlier, by a lot. Income after 70K is taxed at 42%, even though your overall tax rate is just 26%. This is an incredible cheat code because it means you get a 42% tax benefit on the right investments while paying 26% only. That's a guaranteed return you don't get anywhere else. The first investment is something most of you do already, but not in a tax efficient way. ETFs are great, but in a standard broker, you pay taxes on every dividend, every profit, every rebalancing. You even pay taxes when doing nothing because of the Vorabpauschale tax that you can learn more about in this video. Instead, you can put the same ETFs in a pension to get multiple tax benefits. Either tax-deductible contributions, so when you invest 100 euros, you get up to 42% back, depending on your tax rate, tax-free growth of your ETFs until retirement, so no more Vorabpauschale, or almost tax-free profits when withdrawing your money. We are talking about maybe 5% to 10% taxes if you're smart about your withdrawal. Certainly not 25% like in the broker. And second, real estate is the king of all investments. Why? Because as a property investor in Germany, you can write off your mortgage interest, depreciation, and renovations directly against your salary. This means Finanzamt pays up to 42% of your costs, while you pocket 100% of the profits, completely tax-free after holding the property for 10 years. And optimizing your taxes is only half the battle, because we talked about the maximum social security contributions of roughly 70k for public health insurance and 100k for public pension earlier on. If you earn that much, you pay over 1,200 euro in health insurance every single month, split 50-50 between you and your employer. If you earn slightly more, 77k, you can decide freely if you want to be in the public or the private health insurance. Switching to private is often the fastest way to secure premium coverage and boost your net income at the same time. So if your salary is between 77k and 85k and you think about switching, I would hurry in your case, because the salary threshold is expected to rise to 85k next year. The German system might be complex, but it is designed to reward those who know the rules and use them in their favor. If we can help you to pull your tax freedom day earlier, watch this video next and book a free meeting with us right here to talk about your personal situation. Thank you for watching und bis zum nächsten Mal.